Okay, we are going to be finding the 5 remaining trig functions given this information. We know the secant of t equals 4 and the cosecant of t will be negative. So if we look at our xy axis here and we use this information, all students take calculus. This tells us which values are positive in each of the quadrants. So secant is the reciprocal of cosine. Cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So we need cosine to be positive. Well, cosine is positive in the first quadrant where all of them are positive. And then cosine is also positive in the fourth quadrant where the C means cosine is positive. We also know that the sine has to be negative. So since all of them are positive in this quadrant, we know that this angle needs to be in the fourth quadrant. So let's go ahead and sketch this out. There's our reference angle. So here is T. And we also know, let's get SOHCAHTOA. We are trying to find sine, cosine, tangent, cosecant, secant, and cotangent. And this is what's given. This is 4 over 1. So we know that cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So secant must be hypotenuse over adjacent. So if this is our angle T, our hypotenuse is 4, and our adjacent side is 1. So let's go ahead and label this unknown side, because to find all the trig functions, we need to have all these sides. So what we can use is we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find our y side, and then once we have that, we should be able to find all of our trig functions. So we know by the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where c is the hypotenuse. So if I plug in the values I know, 1 squared plus y squared equals 4 squared. 1 plus y squared equals 16. If I subtract 1 from each side, y squared equals 15. So y can be equal to plus or minus radical 15. Well, I know since this is in the fourth quadrant, this has to be negative radical 15. Okay, so let's go through all of these. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So this is going to be negative radical 15 over 4. Cosine, well, we could do adjacent over hypotenuse, or we could just take the reciprocal of the secant that's given to us. So this is going to be 1 over 4. Tangent, opposite over adjacent. So this is going to be negative radical 15 over 1. And now we can take the reciprocal to get the cosecant and the cotangent. So this will be negative 4 over radical 15. Negative 1 over radical 15. And a lot of times we don't want to have a radical in the denominator, so we may be asked to rationalize this. We can multiply by radical 15 over 15 to do that. So that gives us negative 4 radical 15 over 15. If we rationalize this one, this will be negative radical 15 over 15 for our final answer there. Let's just circle all these to make sure it's clear what our final answers are. That was the given one. And that's the solution.